What's going on? It's your man's Moo Man on the mic, back again with the Initiative Podcast, episode 4, where we get into celebrity news, world news, sociology, psychology, and WTF. Let's get it. Okay, first off, I want to give a shout out to Cam Newton's podcast, Funky Fridays, where he had the legend himself, Bow Wow, the legend on the Millennium Tour, where he gets vulnerable, opens up, just from being a millionaire from the age of 8, the choices he made in the industry, how he moves, and it's just seeing him on that platform, getting his flowers early on. Like I said, he's like a brother of the millennium for me. I grew up with him, most of us have, and just to see him get his flowers, to see him on these platforms, opening up, getting vulnerable, I really felt that I could really dig it. Shout out to Cam Newton and shout out to Bow Wow, straight up, all types of shout outs. Okay, so we got a headline, Instagram headlines. O'Keefe Media, Citizen Journalism Foundation in combination. They get serious, all right? This is going to get deep. We're talking about the human trafficking cartel surveillance down there at the border, right? And yes, we jumped straight into a serious headline because I wanted to shine light on the fact that it's not just, your drugs coming through at the border. It's not just your terrorists coming through at the border. We're talking about something far more serious. Human trafficking, which is a $1 trillion business worldwide, 5 times bigger than the drug game, okay? And O'Keefe Media, in combination with Citizen Journalism Foundation, is starting to shed light, in the ways that we've never seen it before. I've never seen it before. They're shedding true light on what's going on with these kids disappearing at the border, what's going on with the cartel trafficking these kids at the border, and for them to shine the light on it the way that they're shining on it it's godsend, right? When it comes to our kids and when it comes to the new generation, the generations coming up from multiple different countries, not just South America, but from everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, that is our future. You know what I'm saying? They are the next leaders of the new century that's upon us. And mind you, not only is the century filled with potential wars or potential biological weapons, it's also filled with blessings. AI, artificial intelligence, is also filled with, opportunity and different kinds of potentials if we could just let our children grow in peaceful ways and in different environments and spaces. And for O'Keefe Media, it's, with Citizen Journalism Foundation to shed light on it, they're looking for journalists right now, videographers and editors. So it's like, if y'all are interested in shining light and taking your platform to a cause and pushing it to a cause and just moving it forward in a positive way to actually be a product of justice out here, I advise y'all to go check out O'Keefe Media, Citizen Journalism Foundation. Check out the videos that they're putting out. Check out the light that they're shedding. Get the facts out there on the border. Get the facts of what's going on and how everyone is moving out there, okay? We're moving on. As y'all know, throughout these episodes, I've always been saying that I'm a podcast head, right? All right, so I check podcasts out all the time on a daily, nightly basis. I love podcasting. I love audio casts, and I love what the movers and shakers of the podcast world are really doing. The Mel Robinson podcast had Charlamagne the God on it. Yes, Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club. You heard of him before, okay? They got pretty inspiring. They were talking about reinvention, reinventing yourself from troubled past, reinventing yourself from different choices that you made that were not so good choices, digging deep into the characters that we were from the past versus the characters that we become, you know what I mean, now, with all the success that we can garner, with all the success that we're blessed with and that we're graced with. And, it was a raw, inspiring, and deeply personal conversation about redemption, reinvention, letting go of mistakes, and being a better version of yourself. And I felt that deep because, I have a pretty troubled past, all right? I'm not the brightest star in the sky, you know what I'm saying? Nor am I the dirtiest worm in the ground. But best believe I've been at the lowest end heights of the any kind of drama that you can think about almost. You know what I mean? And I know that we've all been there, but it definitely struck a chord with me because it's like, yo, you know, I mean, I've been a victim of domestic violence. I've also been a progenitor of domestic violence, you know, and I'm being honest with y'all right now on this podcast because that's what this is all about. This is the Initiative Podcast, and I am taking the initiative upon myself to be as open as I possibly can, to expose every side of me and to grow with y'all and to grow with this audience as I move forward with these episodes. And the Mel Robbins podcast, you know, just listening to that entire podcast, it really struck a chord. You know, I got emotional. You know, I'm still emotional now. So I brought it to the podcast to let everybody know that the Initiative Podcast for me personally is reflection. It is reflection for me. It is reinvention for me. It is character discovery for me, and it is a journey. And I thank y'all so much for those who do listen, that y'all are coming on this journey with me on this road. You know what I'm saying? Graced by the Most High, who has given me the opportunity to continue these episodes and to continue on this path. You know what I mean? As a spoken word artist, as a podcaster, as an audio caster, and just being vulnerable with my past. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like some of the episodes I reference, you know, my daughter, you know, not my oldest one, but my youngest one. And that's a situation that's ongoing, you know, and just, I really would like to stress to anyone that's listening that who has been a product of domestic violence, or who also has been a progenitor of domestic violence, that, you know, they say that, you know, once that, always that, in any kind of bad case or worst case scenario, and I disagree. You know what I mean? I really do. And when you disagree at that level, you gotta look in the man in the mirror and make a definitive decision. You know, are you gonna walk in that fire of redemption all the way to judgment? And I've made that choice to walk in that fire of redemption all the way to Judgment Day. All right, and my judgment day, as everyone else will experience, everybody has a judgment day where it's just you and the Most High and all your sins, you and the Most High and all your blessings, you and the Most High and the heavens that are opened up to you. And when you see and experience the perfection that you can take the next step, if you could just grab the Most High hand, and then you realize the perfection that your spiritual ancestral family is in, you know, will you taint that? You know, is there a potential that you could taint that? Have you forgiven yourself? Are there any regrets? Have you walked in that fire of faith? You know what I mean? And that's those thoughts that came to me when I was listening to the Mel Robbins podcast with Charlamagne the God on it, as far as about reinventing yourself and letting go of past mistakes and being a better version of yourself. And it really struck with me again. So everybody that's on this journey with this podcast with me, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. We're going to move on to the next topic. So we're talking about It Is Dropped. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who dropped it. You know what I mean? They always say that there's one source that dropped it from one point of view, another source that dropped it from another point of view. At first, I thought it was two lists. I had to double check, recheck, quadruple check the list. But the list just came out. We're talking about the top 25 female rappers of all time. All right? Now, I know that people are going to pick this up later on in the morning. Woo, you heard it first from me if you've been listening to the podcast. We're going to go down the list right now. We're going to get to the bottom of this, all right? First up on the list is Nicki Minaj. You can make your own decisions about, you know, if she is indeed, in fact, number one. But let's go down the list right now. We got Nicki Minaj, number one. Missy Elliott, number two. Lauryn Hill, number three. Lil' Kim, number four. Queen Latifah, number five. MC Lyte, number six. Salt-N-Pepa, number seven. Roxanne Shante, number eight. Eve, number 9, Foxy Brown, number 10, Cardi B, number 11, Da Brat, number 12, Trina, 13, Left Eye, 14, Megan Thee Stallion, 15, Doja Cat, 16, Raspity, 17, Remy Ma, 18, Lotto, 19, Moni Love, 20, Glorilla, 21, Lady of Rays, 22, Gangsta Boo 23, Dochi 24, and to square it all the way off, Tierra Whack 25. Y'all heard the numbers. Y'all heard the numbers. Replay the podcast if I was at all wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did it dead on. What do y'all think? I would like to know y'all opinions in the inboxes of my YouTube or wherever you find this podcast. Don't be afraid to inbox me. Don't be afraid to leave these comments. Let's have this discussion before it hits the world tomorrow morning more than it already has, okay? Because that is crazy. Now, to be honest with you, they left out quite a few females that I think could body some of the other females that are on the list. I'm not going to say or give my personal opinion as to who. I just want to name off a couple females that are monsters with the bars that they left off the list, okay? You left Young M.A. off the list. How do you leave Young M.A. off the list? Now, I know. Everyone's caught up on her sexuality and this, that, and the third. Listen. Let me say this one more time. How do you leave Young M.A. off the list? Here's another one. How about Mia X? How do you leave Mia X off the list? And we're talking about everyone that's in my generation. Listen, Mia X was monster with Master P in them, all right? So, hold on. You leave China White off the list? Okay, and now if you don't know who China White is, I suggest you go exploring and find China White because she was monstrous with the bars. Again, you leave Iggy Azalea off the list, you leave Dej Loaf off the list, you leave Azalea Banks off the list, and to be honest with you, one of my favorite female rappers right now, and it's been one of my favorite female rappers for some years now, and I know y'all know her name, but I'm going to say it right here for the record, Brooke, Snow the Product. How do you leave Snow the Product off the list? Now, I know she may not be, too high on the list, but I guarantee you, with the bars that she spit and the product and creativity that she has had throughout the years, all right, she's somewhere on that number 25, all right? She's got to be somewhere on that number 25, all right? That's just me. That's my personal opinion. You know what I mean? But like I said, this is a topic that's going to be an all summer thing. And to be honest with you, I like it. I don't like the order, but I do like the fact that they put the list out, increasing the heat for the summer competition amongst female rappers. And we're not talking about negative competition. We're talking about positive competition. No drama. I want positive competition. I want positive creativity. I need y'all females to squash all the beef, get going, and really, how you leave. Never mind. I want y'all to tell me who else that they left off the list. If I have forgotten anybody, let me know. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but rest assured, this is going to be one heck of a summer with the female competition out here. And that's where I'm going to leave this podcast at right now. It's your man's once again, Moo Man on the Mic, the Initiative Podcast, episode 4, and I will see y'all next time. I don't mean no disrespect, but